I want to tell you that scarcity is everywhere. It is in places we don't even know that it's there, but it's like hiding and ready to sabotage you. It's subconsciously controlling why many people aren't in the flow of more wealth, of making it, keeping it, growing it, and being able to use it freely. There's so many things when it comes to money and abundance that gets affected for many people. Why are we talking about this? Because if we can get to the root of these things, then we can bring in more in our lives. Now, today's episode will have you understand why some people do things and why maybe sometimes we've done things. I'll tell you right now that it is interesting to see the human behavior and why people do what they do. Because I've been studying this work and studying thousands of women, it's pretty apparent when I see someone even going to grab something to eat, or how they are, or how they check out, what they buy, their bill, where they sit on the plane, all those things. I can tell you what their mindset is like. And remember, just because people have money doesn't mean that they actually are rich in mindset or that they're wealthy. They could have the money, but they never feel rich. They never use their money. They're scared to use their money. They have fear around it. They're not comfortable with it. They're afraid it's going to go away. Everything they do is determined about money, what they say, how they invest it, what they do, everything, right, is going to be affected by how they are, because you are the blueprint for your life and business. So whatever you think about wealth is going to show up. Now, I'm going to give you an example about scarcity mindsets. And here it is. So many people who you've all been in the situation. Either you've participated, or you've been the one that's leading it, or you've been the recipient of it. Many of you have had a person in your life that has come to you, dump their situations on you, complain about what's happened in their life. Maybe they had a bad experience with somebody. They come to you and like, do you know what so-and-so did? Do you know what I just experienced? Do you know what just happened to me? Now, there's two people that are going to be the recipient of that do you know what happened to me story. There's going to be the one that says, oh, okay, that happened to you. That also happened to me too. And let me tell you what happened to me. And they're going to be ready to tell you their side of the story. What happened. And all of a sudden, these little stories will band together and, oh, we found a partner where we can complain about life. So they found someone else who's also unhealed in that same situation so that they can share what they're talking about. Then there'll be another person who's indifferent. And they're like, oh, that happened to you? Okay, that's your experience. You can keep talking. They're still going to go on and do what they want. We want to be number two. We want to be the person who is not swayed by other people's opinions, not swayed by other people's experiences, not swayed by what another person is going through in life. Now, Shamina, what about reviews and stuff? I'm so careful about looking at reviews on Amazon or anywhere else, because sometimes those reviews are the book didn't arrive in time, or this thing didn't work, but I only took it one time. Like, you don't know why people get upset or what they do, because they're looking through life through their lens of their trauma, their life experiences, what's unhealed inside of them. That's how they're looking at life. So their opinions will be swayed. Their opinions will be very different. So I don't just take someone's opinion anymore. Now, back it up. This is why gossip exists. This is why people love to talk about others. This is why I believe people have these call out posts on the internet. Like, do you know what da-da-da did? And they're calling out people for what they did because they feel like they're the voice, but really they're giving their victim a chance to go and complain about something that really has nothing probably to do with them. Now, I'll tell you, some things have to be called out. Some things are definitely important to speak about. Absolutely. But I'll tell you, the moment that I touch any side of that I don't feel like it's my highest self to talk about, it'll always feel out of alignment. Now, people who can't make decisions for themselves because they still are looking through the lens of their own crap, they will pull other people because they don't value their own decision. They don't trust what they're thinking and feeling is good enough because they're not authentically aligned with who they are. So they'll say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you like about this? What do you think about I should do here? Should I do this? And that's not to say that we can't ask other people their opinion and still make our own decisions, which I think everybody should do. But a lot of the times people can't make their own decisions because they're not being truly who they want because they're afraid to be. And gossip exists because people want to go and talk to another person and say, hey, do you know what happened to me? And then that person will be like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's talk about it. And now they've got someone to sit there and bitch and moan about things. But what does that do? All that does is reconfirm their scarcity and their victimness and that unhealed trauma in them that's been triggered in that moment. And all it's doing is telling them, yeah. I mean, what does that do? It does not get them to the end result, which is not being triggered and being in their power and being able to have discernment when things happen. Now, that person that's healed and in abundance, they're going to listen to a story and they're going to be like, oh, okay. And they'll decide for themselves. Do I want to believe this? Do I not want to believe this? They'll make up their own decisions. They will not be swayed by someone else's behavior. Majority of the people in the population get their feelings hurt. They take things personal. They allow the behaviors of others to affect them. They allow their power to be taken away. They allow it because no one can come take your power without your permission. You're just going to give it. And again, unless it's a situation that's isolated, that there is something where you have been victimized. There's a difference in that one incident situation. What I'm talking about is not that. I'm talking about when we are allowing the old stories and the old patterns to come up and affect us, right? And if you're still getting triggered by other people's behaviors, you're not actually in your power. And what's happening is you're staying in the scarcity. You're staying in the, look at me, look what happened to me. And when you go to talk to other people and then those people are just reconfirming what you're talking about, like you're not actually expanding or evolving. I'll give you an example. Someone will say, oh, this was a great, whatever. But you know what? These are all the things that were negative about it. Here's all the things that I didn't like. This could have been changed. But although I had massive change, here's my results. Here's the thing that I had. Oh, but these are the things that are negative. And they'll use the word negative. This is a person who still is in that victim scarcity mindset because they call it negative. They say it's negative. They won't look at a situation and go, what is the value that I got out of it? They'll look at a situation of it needed to be perfect. It needed to satisfy all of their issues. And if it didn't, then overall it wasn't a really great experience. Even though they had their highest cash months, even though they had, they lost the most amount of weight, even though they had, they got a lot of clients, even though that they solved their, gout or they solved their sleeping habits or whatever it was that they're looking to solve, even though they got a result, they'll go there and say, well, yeah, but this is negative. Here's the negative things that happened. Because they are not on a value base. They're looking to solve everything because they don't know that they have the power to come in to any situation and go, you know what? I got what I came for. I got the thing I came for. And when you can get into the person to be, I got the thing I came for, you are coming in for value and not just for checklists of things that in your mind are satisfying the scarcity that's within you, right? That's a whole nother episode I have to do. Okay. I'm going to give you an example of there's the scarcity victim mindset and then there's the abundance mindset. And remember, everybody's experience is their own. They're not ours. When you look at what someone's gone through, it doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, good or bad, right? You have to remind yourself of this because people think and feel in ways that you can't even see. We don't know what their stories are. We don't know what fuels them. We don't know what's happened within them. So when somebody is, like I said, they will have the most amazing experience, but then they'll find things that are unfavorable. And they have to tell you what they are because they want the experience to satisfy every single discrepancy they have in their lives. When you see someone who's in abundance, they're looking for value-based. They're not looking for you to give them all of these things. And when you can understand that, then you know that you're self-accountable for the results that you want in your life. One of the biggest red flags I hear is that someone will say, this previous program didn't work for me. But but I did get some change in it, but it didn't work. They immediately are a no to come in my group because nothing is going to change the way and the perspective that they see the world because they are already looking for what's wrong and not what's right. They're already in a state of what's missing. And so when people are like that, they become the rotten fruit of the group. And you got to be careful of that, right? You got to be careful of the people who are like that. And they're looking for someone to be blamed. And when someone is looking for someone to be blamed or they're looking for things that are wrong, they still have that scarcity mindset. They're still running the pattern and programming. They have not rewired their deeper beliefs. They're still in it. So they can have some one hit wonders, make some money, but then they'll go right back to their old selves again because that's what their default method is. That's who they are. And people who are in abundance will look at someone else's experience, unless it's like, blatantly obvious that this is happening over and over again. And they'll say, well, I'm going to find out for myself. I'll find out what it is, if it worked for me. Those people know that they can create whatever their situation is. They're in their power to create whatever situation that they want. They're not looking for other people to soothe their pain. They're not looking for other people to come in and save them. They're looking for what can they do, what can they get to help them grow in that situation. There's no blaming. There's no negativity. Even when things have maybe gone sideways, they don't harp and look on that. They look on the benefit and the gain that they're getting from it. And how is that going to take them to the next level? Because if you think about it, someone in scarcity, even if they see, oh, there's an abundance, and they're also talking about scarcity, what have you learned from me? You cannot be in both energies. You cannot be in abundance and scarcity. So if someone is coming up with a blaming, negative, scarcity mindset, they're never going to transfer over into abundance because they're always going to see the world with what's missing and what's not there. They're not going to come from a value base. They're not going to see that they have the power to create and change. They're still not in their power. They're still living a story that has power over them, which is why they don't have power over money. Now, remember, if someone comes to you and is trying to convince you that a certain person is terrible or bad, or, don't do business with them, I will never do that. I will never go up to someone and say, hey, don't do business with this person. This is what my experience was, because that's not my place to do that. They could have quite a different experience than me. Mine could be a fluke. It could be just that we didn't match, whatever it was. But if someone comes up to you saying that, immediately know that person, ding, 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 is definitely in scarcity. Ding, ding, ding is definitely a red flag. And they're going to affect your wealth because you're having that low vibrational conversation with them. Scarcity bonds victims together. So when people come to complain to you, complaining, whatever it is, they're looking for someone to trauma bond their crap with. So be careful, because that stuff will keep you sinking like a ship in the water, going down, 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 flooding up, coming in and just suffocating you until you can't breathe anymore, because all you're doing is repeating an old pattern. Be careful of this, because this is what most people do on a daily basis, and they don't even realize they're doing it. They think that they're making friends and they're talking over things, but they're actually trauma bonding over their crap and their scarcity, and they're staying stuck. Not a powerful thing. Their abundance people stay in their own lane. They don't drive and veer off, and they don't care about what's happening in someone else. They don't care, because they know that they have the power to change everything. They know that they have the power to create a different reality. They know that they have the power to, even if a situation did go sideways, get the most out of it and make it a beneficial thing for them in their lives. People in abundance aren't easily swayed by gossip. They're not having those conversations about other people. They're not sitting there trying to, bond with others through trauma. They're not doing that. Healing that which has power over you, the things that are triggering you, the things that are making you run off to have these conversations and bond with others over something that's not actually amplifying more wealth in your life. When you heal that, you start stepping into another level of wealth. Refusing to have conversations with people who are coming to you to unload their crap. While it might seem good to gossip with girlfriends or gossip with people, or share your experiences because you're having XYZ day, if you don't know how to self-regulate yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. You do not have emotional mastery still. Getting into the place of emotional mastery means like, whatever happens to me, I'm going to be able to handle it. This is not to say that you don't go to your spouse or other people and say, hey, I've had a bad day, I'd love to talk about it. But when you're doing it on a continuous daily basis, that means you don't know how to regulate yourself to a place of being in control, being a powerful person. If you keep repeating a story over and over again, you're just letting that victim show up every day and basically steal your power. And you want more money to come in your life, you want more wealth, you're going to have to stop doing that. The less you need people to like you, the more powerful and abundant you'll become, because you will be driving this success car, not someone else, not your little self, not your old stories, not the trauma, not the old beliefs, not the past experiences that you need to get soothed every time it gets triggered. You're going to be in your power. And when you are in your power, you will then have power over money instead of money having power over you. This is where you can excel to next level of wealth. We have a great program called the Millionaire Mindset, the 7-Figure Blueprint. We go deep into this. It's a 6-month program with me. It is going to change your life. Now, what I want you to do is, if you feel called to want to jump on a call with one of us, click the link below. You can get on a call with myself or one of my team members and find out more about it. Also, go check out our Quantum Woman group on Facebook, and go ahead and leave me a review on Spotify or Apple. I would love it. I'm keeping this commercial free. So all I ask of you is if you can leave a review if you enjoyed it, and I will keep going on commercial free. Also, if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, go ahead and check it out, and go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram. Send me a message. We'd love to hear from you. And again, if you have not gone and gotten the Unlocking the Quantum Woman book, go ahead and get it right now. It's going to be a game changer in your world. Get the physical book. It's really going to help you. The audiobook is coming out very, very soon. Click the Daily Money Moves freebie down here. I'm going to give it to you. And we've got a lot of little programs that you can have access to get started. You want to be able to get to the place that's telling you that you can't have more. You want to get to that root of that scarcity, the place that's keeping you limited, keeping you having to tell the stories. Not, like that, it, to me, is like the purgatory that everybody's in. They want to know why they don't have more. It's because you're living in this place that's stopping you from the growth. You're creating self-limiting beliefs. You're creating the ceilings. You're stopping yourself from the growth because you're letting those soul stories have more power over you than you have the power within yourself to have. So go out there, go do the thing, go find out where these stories are. Let's get to the root of them. You need my help. Come find me and share this episode if you think that it'll help someone else, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye for now.